Well, hey kids, welcome back to Smith Motorworks. I want to share with you a little improvement that anybody can make if you got one of these little kind of mini Harbor Freight type slip roll machines. Um, they're kind of awkward with the handle that they have. That works fine, but the way I've got this set up, I wanted to do something different, and it occurred to me there was a really easy way to make it a whole lot easier to use. So stick with us here. We'll find out what's going on. Let's dare to be different. Let me show you what we got going on here first. This is what we're going to be working on here. This little slip roll machine. I don't know what that is, 15 inches wide, something like that. I mean, it's really small. It's for small pieces, obviously. What I did is I got this cart for free, basically the place I worked at, and the red part is factory built kind of stuff, and then the guys in the shop had customized it and put this other little kind of work table cabinet kind of deal, and I added these latches to it, cleaned it up. Of course, got to put stickers all over it, and let's represent the brand right there. How about that? It's got a couple things going on here. One, I got obviously got some labels on there. Tools stored in there, good for that. Abrasives. Riv nuts and pop rivet tools. There's some bigger, I think, grinders or something in there. Sanders, yeah. Just things like that. The reason is I kind of wanted like a little workstation. I could put some of these smaller tools on there. As you see, besides this slip roll machine, I got this baby disc belt sander. The thing's pretty handy. If you got something small, I got a much larger one, but I'll tell you why all this stuff's on here together. And then also this little baby Harbor Freight. This is definitely a Harbor Freight sheet metal brake here. You can do some light work with that. There's handles for it. That's kind of a random thing laying on there for defending against marauders, I guess. And then I got a pipe vise that was my granddad's. Just bolted on there. It comes in pretty handy. But here's the big thing with it. I've learned from some of the old pros, like Gene Winfield and whatnot, that say, don't mount anything down if you don't have to. And so it's nice having this on wheels for two reasons. One, you can bring it right to the work. And two, if it's in your way, just push it. It's rolls easy enough. It's full of stuff, but it's not so heavy you can't push it. I got hammer racks on both sides of it here. And what I did, these are bolted down, so I don't have to move and bolt the top of it. And it kind of ends up being a catch bin for some other stuff here, but try to keep it fairly clean. But this is the stock handle that goes on this thing. And, you don't have a whole lot of leverage on that. But you really don't need a lot because you can't put anything super big in there. And if you try to do, heavy gauge stuff, it just, won't work. These things will bend. But this thing actually works pretty good. I use it more than you think. Mainly for straightening stuff. Honestly, it, you can take form out or take shape out as well as putting shape in. With this, if you got something that's kind of bent up, you kind of set it pretty low and just run it back and flip it over. Keep turning it back and forward, doing it 180 each time, and you can roll something flat. Just keep backing the slip roll down and get it flat. But that's not what we're here for. The thing is I laid this out to where I would have room to turn this handle around. And you can see, as you're pushing on it, I'm almost moving the cart. But you can do it. It's okay. My knuckles aren't smacking into the hammers down here. But I thought, they will eventually. And I knew that, but I thought, I'm going to change this handle because I wanted more leverage on it. And, I came through a bunch of things like, well, I'll extend this handle, outward, from the leverage, and also kind of push it out further past here so it won't hit anything. And my first thing I thought, I'm going to get put an extension. I'm going to put a lawn tractor wheel on it. It's like a steering wheel. It's got grips on it, so I can kind of grab it and turn it from this end, and then put a Brody knob, the suicide knob or necker knob or whatever you want to call it on there, and grab onto that and just use it like a big handle too. And I had that kind of ready to go, and I was going to make a little hub to put on there, and I'm like, nah, that's a whole lot of work, and I got a whole lot of projects. And then I lucked into workers throwing away some stuff, and I don't even know what these handles came off of, some machine that probably got scrapped, but I'm like, this is a nice kind of fancy looking handle, and I was going to build an extension to that and put that on there. I thought, well, that looks a little more kind of pro level. Let's do that. Again, I was like, I'm adding up time. It would be fun and neat, but I don't really want to mess with it. And then one day I was out here and I thought, this is just square and it's probably some standard size. I bet there's something that'll fit on there, like a socket, and I can just turn it with a ratchet or something. And then the more I looked, it's some oddball size. But what I found is, 12-point socket, 4 goes into 12 as well as 6. So there's 4 points on here where it'll grab onto it. Well, good old 9/16. And if you got this brand, I imagine it's probably the same size, but it really doesn't matter. You just got to find a 12-point socket or ratcheting box end like this is that'll fit whatever you have on this square. And there's probably a metric size that fits on this pretty good. But it's not hard to put on. It was just me doing it one-handed. It's funny, but man, I mean it fits right on there. I got it on the wrong side, but you can just spin it over easy, and you got a ton of leverage on this. And that's kind of freewheeling because there's no piece in there right now. But if you got one that's got a reversing lever on it, you can switch it back and forth, not do anything. But for me, I just flip it over whichever way I want to go. Boom, boom. If you wanted to get really trick, I suppose you could cut the wrench up and put a knob or something on it. Put your T-handle shifter or something on there. Whatever you want to do. You got to be a hot rodder and make it cool. But this is just so easy. And the beauty of it is if you don't want to, you don't need to permanently mount this. You can always go back, just putting this thing on if you decide you don't like it. But I don't think that you ever will, because I'll show you a little demo here when we get this hooked up. Man, this works so nice. And I have, this was kind of a mutt. It's a Craftsman. It's a good one, and you don't need a good one. You can get a garbage one or something. I mean, it could be broken on the other end. All you need is just the end that fits your wrench to put it on, or fits your size to put it on there, and it turns into your handle. So I can still take this off and use it if I want to, but I've got other sets of these that I use that I actually like better than this one. And I kind of wish, I won't cut this up because it's a Craftsman, but if this was some really weird off-brand, junker kind of deal, I would probably cut this up and, maybe put some other kind of handle or knob or something on the end of it, maybe even put a little collar to lock it on, because I mean it's a little loose, but it just does not matter. I mean you can turn it over. It's just so easy, and you can definitely do this one-handed now. I mean, that's the problem with these things, kind of, if you got something that you're really trying to watch, it's tough to sort of like hang on to the piece that you're feeding into and guide it, and then crank that that stock type handle around, old Victrola kind of handle there, because you're kind of pushing back and forth, and it's sort of like patting your head and rubbing your belly. This hand's doing one thing, this reciprocating motion, and then here, you're trying to keep it straight and going in one direction. I mean, that's I guess if you're a drummer or something like that, that's probably not hard to have one hand doing one thing and another hand doing another, but it's kind of a coordination mess for me. But with this, you don't even have to think about it. You just kind of click, 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 pushing it around there. So it's really, really pretty simple. Okay, this is just a piece of scrap that I got. It's not even cut straight, but I mean, look at that. Whoops, I went too far, let's pretend. Flip it over, run it back. But nope, let's keep going. Put it on around there. Stick it back in. All the live long day. I'm not making anything in particular. I'm just kind of showing you, you know, it's pretty easy to do it one-handed. And I've done that same thing with this right here, trying to do it, and you're rocking it back and forth. Even if I lock the wheels on this, it's just so clumsy, because you're pushing this way, and this hand's trying to do that with the handle rolling around, and it's too short. Hey, I like this a whole lot better, and man, it's just so easy, and we didn't have to do anything to change the machine. Go straight back to stock if we want to. So that's the little tip there. Hope it helps. But you can check the yard sales and the thrift stores and get something like this, or some old Great Neck brand, or some Chinese copy or whatever. You don't even need a good one, because it doesn't. If it's chewed up a little bit, it doesn't matter. You just got to hit those four corners on that stub here on the drive end. You're good to go. So how about that? Not much to it. Just kind of had some observation that turned the light bulb on, so to speak, in my head, and thought I want to share that with everybody on the channel, and maybe it can help you out. It seems obvious, but sometimes those things, you just don't think of them until you actually get the chance to step back from it and can come up with something that can help you out. So nearly free. Lots of other ways you can customize that, make it a little bit better, suit your purposes, but works great for me. And sometimes the easiest way is the best way, is what I've found. But anyway, do that homework, like, subscribe, share, send me some comments, whatever you want to do. I'm here for you guys, whether you want me or not. We're going to keep doing it and dare to be different. See you next time on Smith Motorworks.